Every anime has that standard edgelord with the tragic backstory, dead parents, traumatic childhood, whatever, and that's why they're completely unhinged. We get it, their trauma explains their behavior, but what about a guy with loving parents, zero childhood trauma, and a totally normal upbringing who's still an absolute psychological nightmare? That's Isagi Yoichi. Blue Lock's main character might be the most disturbing protagonist in modern sports anime, and almost nobody's talking about it. Many of you are probably thinking, what kind of shit is this guy smoking? Isagi's just a normal, friendly dude with a dream, and yeah, off the pitch, he seems that way. But on the field, he transforms into something fucking terrifying. Today I'm breaking down how our supposed protagonist, the guy we're supposed to root for, is hiding something dark beneath his friendly exterior. Manga spoilers ahead, but at this point most of you have read it anyway, so whatever. Surface level, Isagi checks all the boxes of your typical sports anime protagonist. Generally friendly, cheery personality outside of matches. His teammates and rivals constantly mention how approachable and level-headed he is. He avoids petty drama, plays peacekeeper, smiles at the right times, normal guy shit. His background, completely ordinary. While Blue Lock is full of damaged prodigies with dark pasts driving them forward, Isagi has loving parents and a regular-ass childhood. No trauma, no abandonment issues, no psychological scars to explain his behavior. Even his approach to football started out team first. His backstory hinges on that moment where he passed instead of shooting, putting the team above personal glory. That selfless decision haunted him enough to enter Blue Lock in the first place. All this paints Isagi as relatable and ordinary, but that's exactly what makes the truth so fucking disturbing. The moment Isagi steps onto a football pitch, he morphs into someone else entirely. Not just competitive, all athletes get competitive. Isagi becomes an entirely different person. Need examples? During Team Z's match against Team W, Isagi physically shoves Chigiri into the fucking dirt, his own teammate aside while telling him to get the fuck out of the way. Chigiri had zero chance to respond before Isagi put him into the ground like he was his bitch or some shit. His own teammate. Or look at how he mentally dissects opponents. Isagi categorizes people based on usefulness and weaknesses. His internal thoughts reveal a cold calculator viewing others as chess pieces to move around. During the match against Team V, off-field Isagi was amazed by Nagi's abilities, but on-field he immediately identified Nagi's psychological weakness, his dependency on Ryo's passes. Instead of respecting a clearly superior player, he coldly calculated how to exploit this vulnerability and shut him down. The friendly, humble Isagi completely vanishes in these moments. What we're witnessing is a complete personality transformation that's genuinely disturbing when you actually analyze it. Most Blue Lock players maintain consistent personalities. Baru is always aggressive as fuck. Bachira always has his playful, monster energy. Chigiri is consistently a woman. What separates Isagi is his ability to completely transform who he is the moment competition begins. Remember how Ego describes the ideal striker? Someone who can switch off emotions, view teammates as tools rather than friends, and sacrifice anything and anyone to score. Isagi embodies this to a disturbing degree. From a character perspective, watching Isagi's sociopathic tendencies evolve throughout the series is fascinating. Early on, he seemed torn about embracing his selfish side, but as Blue Lock progresses, he doesn't just accept this side of himself, he fucking perfects it. His development of metavision is the perfect metaphor for this psychological split. He literally sees the field and everyone on it as pieces to manipulate. He reduces human beings to vectors and variables in his calculations. It's not just a football technique, it's a manifestation of his fractured psychology. The evidence of Isagi's split personality is all over the series. The shit he says on the field would shock anyone who only knows his nice guy persona. Remember when Isagi straight up called Baru a donkey to his face? Massive balls to call someone built like a gorilla a freaking donkey. Off the field, he'd never talk to anyone that way, especially someone who could snap him in half. In the Neo-Egoist League, Isagi grabbed Kaiser by the collar and told him he was just a clown in his story. I initially thought he was about to throw hands. The polite, respectful Isagi completely disappeared, replaced by someone with zero fear or social restraint. One of the most shocking moments came during the Blue Lock vs U20 Japan match. Under pressure, Isagi snapped at Ego himself, calling him a shitty Four Eyes, showing complete disrespect to the man controlling his entire future in the program. The mild-mannered kid who respects authority just vanished. These aren't isolated incidents. Throughout the series, Isagi transforms from a respectful teammate into someone who will psychologically destroy anyone in his way. This absolute personality switch makes him way more unsettling than the other characters. You might think, it's just a sports anime, of course players get competitive during matches. But Blue Lock isn't just any sports anime, it's specifically about striker psychology, what drives them and makes them who they are. The entire premise revolves around embracing your ego and becoming your true self. So when Isagi presents two completely different versions of himself, it raises profound questions about which one is real. Is the friendly, normal Isagi authentic, or is the calculating, manipulative striker who will sacrifice anyone to score his true self? The terrifying implication of Blue Lock's narrative might be the latter. Beneath his facade of normalcy, Isagi might actually be the most sociopathic character in the entire series. He's just better at hiding it than anyone else. So what does all this mean? Is Isagi truly a sociopath or just a competitive athlete? The evidence points to something far more complex than simple competitiveness. Isagi doesn't just want to win, he's willing to completely alter his personality, manipulate relationships, and psychologically destroy opponents to get what he wants. Most disturbing of all, he can switch this predatory nature on and off at will. Maybe this is the true genius of Blue Lock as a series. While we think we're watching a show about creating the ultimate striker, we might actually be watching the psychological evolution of the perfect sociopath, someone who can appear completely normal and relatable while harboring cold, calculating ruthlessness beneath. Next time you watch Blue Lock, pay attention to those moments when Isagi's mask slips. Notice the disconnect between what he says and what he thinks. Watch how quickly he switches between his normal persona and his striker persona. In the end, that might be Isagi's true weapon that ego has been nurturing all along, not his spatial awareness or direct shot, but his ability to completely compartmentalize his humanity when it serves his goals. That's what makes him the most terrifying character in Blue Lock. Drop a comment if you've noticed Isagi's disturbing behavior, or if you think I'm reading too much into this shit. Subscribe for more deep dives into anime psychology. Until next time, keep your friends close, and maybe keep Isagi at a safe distance.